Well, hello there, how are you all doing? Right. Division, isolation, echo chamber, tribalism. These four things are what feeds psychological operation, according to any military psychological operations manual. These steps are used mostly to destabilise and destroy governments or movements that you don't find appreciative of the other steps that you're doing. And these are used against us extremely frequently in the Western world, mostly by our own military and our own intelligence units. The division is a dividing line within a side that you can hammer a wedge into. So let's say, for instance, left and right, yeah? You use that to divide, then you isolate either side. So you break them apart and ensure that neither side wants to speak to the other. Whilst you're doing this, you encapsulate them within an echo chamber, so they're getting a feedback loop, if you will, where they're constantly hearing the same information coming back to them. Yeah? This then further widens that divide, further isolates either side, and sort of puts them in a perpetual cycle of self-indoctrination. This then forms that final part, which is the tribalism, where you get loyalists, extreme loyalists on either side, or extremists, if you will, and they browbeat any dissent. Yeah, like the purity test that they have on the left. Yeah, you get what I mean? This has been a staple and extremely successful method that the West has used since before World War II, even before World War I, I suppose. The death of Charlie Kirk is kind of a point now that is going to try and be used to foment the last step, which is destabilisation, or extreme entropy and then complete destabilisation, which breeds chaos, which is the final step. Charlie Kirk was a good man, extremely good man. I think in some ways he understood this. He understood the trajectory that we were going down, that we've been going down since before 2020. He was one of many people out there that was trying to stop it. And for that it should be remembered. This has never been about left and right. Never. It's always us versus the powerful, who use these methods, or this method, to control everyone below them, Sorry. He got very good at all this talk about whether it was planned hit and blah 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 blah. Yes and no. The guy very likely was an activist. They needed that sort of activist to make it more believable. The little extras that you see here and there are just distractions. There to incite more anger, raise the temperature, get you more riled up. This talk of Israel being behind it, again, is a distraction. It's there to get you all riled up. This is something else that they've been doing quite frequently lately. If you understand how psychological operations work, you can see the little cogs in play whirring, yeah? All powering one vast machine. The Israel situation is gaining prominence now, not because of Gaza or Israel or Palestine, it's because it's necessary for the next stage of the plan. They need you all focused on Israel so they can carry on doing what they're doing and get away with it. This is why it's gaining a lot of prominence lately. It's not because people are noticing, no. People are being guided, shepherded into that direction. Again, remember, division, isolation, echo chamber, tribalism. You can see it with that situation there. For decades it's been, oh no, we can't talk about that. And all of a sudden, boom, yes you can now. All of a sudden it's let out the digital ghettos, isolated echo chambers. You might drive that wedge further into the right side to weaken us. You look around outside, right? Every single person has got the same sort of problems that you have, yeah? The same sort of mentality, the same things going wrong in their life, probably. Yeah? They have a lot more in common with you than the people at the top, the people driving this. If we allow ourselves to be driven to not communicating with that other side, to not talking, because they have a different haircut, different shade, colour of hair, a different ideology. If we continue down this road, where we're no longer able to communicate with the other side, we've lost. And I don't think that's what Charlie wanted. Charlie opened dialogue. He spoke to the left like human beings, or what we would call the left. Let's just call them us. Because he spoke to everyone in the same way, like human beings, with decency. And if we devolve into madness, like I said, we've lost. All these calls for violence, for an eye for an eye, blah 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 blah, this needs to stop. We need to recognise we're being controlled, we need to recognise we're being played. On both sides of the pond, all the way throughout the West. Because this isn't just exclusive to America, to the US. This is throughout the Western world, this is being done. And Israel, It's also being done over there, believe it or not. We're being divided in preparation to be conquered. And most people know all about this, can see all about that side, but we can't recognise the rest of it for some fucking reason. We still get bogged into these holes, and that's because a lot of the people that are pushing narratives left, right and centre are doing this because of money. They've seen a niche, they've found a niche and they're sticking with it, and they ignore evidence to the contrary because it will dilute their viewer base, diminish their viewer base and lower their bottom line. A lot of the a lot of the influencers, shall we say influencers out there that people believe are controlled are controlled, yeah, but not by the system, by their audience a great deal of the time. I'm sorry to say, because they're who pay them. They get controlled because they don't agree with other people who are also audience captured. And this is the way the system works. When the system intervenes, it's subtle, it's not, you will not tell if it's a controlled opposition or not. It's just that simple, you won't. And their input is subtle, it guides you slowly. Good examples, Fabian Society, they do the same thing. Wolf in sheep's clothing. Well, the actual plants, they plant seeds. We grow those seeds. We're the gardeners. We cultivate them, we grow them, and then we disseminate them so someone else can plant new seeds. We create our own disinformation, as I've already said, and we've done it a lot for them without even knowing. It's time to grow up, people. We are in an intel agency psychological warfare game played by our own governments. Driven by our intelligence agencies. Remember, call it the diet, yeah? The psychological warfare diet. Remember it like that. Division, isolation, echo chamber, tribalism. Whenever you look around, because they're going to be showing you the extremes of either side to keep riling you up, to keep your anger going, to boost engagement as well on those platforms. But they won't show you the real people out there, the ones we need to talk to, not the ones that are winding people up. They're the fake people. Should be locked up, I suppose, in a way. The more extreme side, they're being shown to you and given to you to make you more irate, more angry. More tribal. To further deepen that wedge and to further indoctrinate you into whichever doctrine that I've decided you're going to be part of. And this stops debate. You begin to see the other side as simply that, the other side. They're not the other side. They're your friends, or your neighbours, or your weird uncle, they're your grandma, your granddad, your slightly racist uncles, aunts, yeah? We're all just people at the end of the day. People under the same indoctrination you are. Charlie will want you to reach out to them, to at least talk to them, find some common ground, because that common ground is exactly what the system fears. Anyway, I've got to go. See you later.